These
Edible mints.
cinnamon CBD, one to one ratio. Thank you, Kaylee, for getting these for us,
Thank you. Stoner approved.
and for getting my Starbucks, which I don't know where I put it. Perfect. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, feeling good, man. Thankful for the opportunity. Feel blessed and grateful for you guys considering me for this.
Hell yeah. So like,
Couldn't pass it up.
I know that Michael is more of the person who talked to you about Undrgrnd. Like, when did he hit you up? It was pretty recent, right?
Yeah, it was like 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's fire. So you had heard of Undrgrnd Magazine because we have met before.
Yeah.
One time at the Bridge the Gap tour, the Dairy Creek show in San Luis Obispo.
It was a fire show.
So you came out. How did you hear about that? Do you know Bobby?
Not personally, really, but I know of him. We've met a few times because we both use the Soft Spot Studios to record our music at, and I think we've met in passing through there. And then I met him at the Central Coast Beach Social one they do like down Santa Maria, and then at the Bridge the Gap show.
At the Bridge the Gap show.
You know, so it's like small meetings.
A bunch of small
Here and there.
meetings. Like, I feel like that's most of the like 805 hip hop community. It's just like you meet people in passing. Maybe you link up with them enough to make a song or something like that. How have you felt as somebody that's first off born and raised right out here, right? Like, before I get into it, like, tell us a little bit about just your upbringing, early days. Where'd you grow up? When were you inspired by music?
Grew up in Morro Bay, which is 15 minutes here from San Luis Obispo, little beach town, fishing village. Cool little upbringing. Terrorized the town. You know, when I got a crew of friends, we were always either skateboarding or biking, all back and forth from town to town, stealing cigarettes and, stealing candy and whatnot, and going in the trees and smoking and whatever, hiding out and underneath the Embarcadero, all the buildings and stuff. We go fishing and just kind of mess around.
So were you
style.
You're like, were you somebody that would, like, I don't know, break the rules, get in trouble?
Yeah.
That kind of early childhood vibe.
Yeah, I pushed the rules. I've been the limits, for sure.
Growing up in Morro Bay, is there like a big music community out there? Was that something that was like introduced to you at an early age?
Not for hip hop, you know what I mean? In Morro Bay, it's because I grew up in the 80s, 90s. It's mostly like older generation, kind of feel good, bluesy music, like growing up, that's what was playing around the bars, is a lot of old timers, playing covers from the old times, 70s, 80s music, yeah.
That's fire. So like, was there like a big hip hop like influence at all? Like, how far away from, so we're recording this in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
How far away are we from Morro Bay? Like, from what you consider like hometown?
Like 20 minutes away.
20 minutes?
You know what I mean?
Did you feel like there was any sort of hip hop influence at all, like locally, that you were inspired by?
Yeah. Didn't come till like later. So like I started writing in like early 2000, and just because I knew I had something to say, and I admired people getting up on stage and doing that and being the front man, and like I got a lot of energy and like I want to steal the show, and I felt like that was an avenue that I was gravitated towards, for me to release this inner fucking voice that I had inside, and so I started writing. Writing's probably my strong point of what I'm really good at. I could write about anything pretty much. And then like 2008, probably released my first little mixtape album. I had done a few songs, recorded a few songs that I thought were good enough. I could start like trying to put together an album mixtape kind of.
Like, how did you even go from just being a fan of music to like even getting in the studio or understanding how a release of a song or a project even works? Like, was there somebody that helped you like introduce that into your life?
Yeah, actually, because I wanted to get into it, and in this area, especially in Morro Bay, little podunk fishing town, there's not really a hip hop kind of scene. Um, but there's a melting pot of talented artists from all over the place that go there. And so one of the main guys that helped me out, I was talking to a few friends that like just jam out, and I'm like, who's the music guy around here? Who can I talk to that's like been in the biz that knows what's up? And so that's how I got introduced to Jimmy Macon. Jimmy Macon was a guitar player in the Gap Band. Did the song, you dropped a bomb on me, baby.
Okay, I actually don't know it. I don't know. Is that like a local? Was that?
No, that's old school funk. So like Jimmy Macon, he played with James Brown back in the day. He's known for his old soul sound guitar, and they've been on Soul Train, and he's done all kinds of things. So he's a big name, being with the Gap Band and doing all that stuff. And so I just approached him one day at the bar. I'm like, hey, my name's Eric. I'm trying to get into rapping and whatnot, can you show me some things? And so he took me under his wing, kind of took me to his house and showed me some equipment. He gave me some of my first beats to kind of practice and write to or whatever. And I did like a couple of my first recordings with him. And then through connections with him, he has led me to another friend of mine, Lenny Step Bun. And
Lenny Step Bun.
Yeah, he goes by Step. And so he was a music producer from down south, worked with some big name people, whatever. And because him and Jimmy were tight and real close friends. And so Jimmy just, we just passed the friendship, Jimmy's no longer with us right now. But he was definitely a big influence in my life, as a personal one-on-one for me to, kind of catch the ropes and figure out what the hell I'm getting myself into a little bit,
Absolutely.
Because like I grew up, my influences for sure, Wu-Tang, Tupac, Big E, Big L, Brother Lynch, Celly Cell, some E40, and so what was I going? I think I lost track on that.
But speaking of the people that you mentioned as like influences, like something I feel like I've asked a lot of the artists that we've had in the past that are from this area is like, do you consider yourself more tied to the Bay Area or to Los Angeles in terms of just culture, music scene?
Damn, I'm not sure, because we're growing up here, we're right smack in the middle.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I guess I would have to say maybe I lean a little more towards LA. Just because like the Tupac, NWA vibes, and I grew up with Cypress Hill, so, but it's strong on both sides because, I got E40, Brother Lynch, Celly Cell on the Bay, and then, but I would probably gravitate more towards LA, like I rock a LA hat.
Okay.
I got a San Francisco hat too, it's for colors,
I saw you
you
had the San Francisco beanie earlier.
Yeah, so I represent just all California pretty much.
Okay.
But I'm influenced by everything and everything. Like I listen to Frank Sinatra, old school classic rock music, Led Zeppelin, Metallica.
What was like the music that like your parents were showing you when you were a little kid?
Like Led Zeppelin, Jethro Tull, not so much like reggae. Like my dad is mostly into classic rock, like Stephen Stills, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Neil Young, and all those people. So like I got a whole, wide range variety of music that I listen to. I love classical music, driving, just listen to piano and like real instruments, nothing tarnished or changed, and to Billie Holiday, to Frank Sinatra, to, Tupac. I mean, those are all pretty wide range, And, of course, you got Outkast. Growing up, Busta Rhymes is one of my favorites, from the East Coast, because he's live and out there, and kooky and goofy, and that's kind of how I was growing up, wild child. So I resonated with him,
Do you feel like you bring that same like energy and character to your music and performing live? Like, how would you describe your music to somebody who's never heard it before?
Definitely conscious hip hop, you know what I mean? Like I put a lot of thought into what I say. because I write every word. You know what I mean? It all comes from me, from my heart, from my influence of just daily living. You know, and it's probably my favorite part is the whole creative process of listening to the music and thinking about what to write. And because when things come to you, they just start coming to you, you know, and like it'll just come natural the more I've been writing. And so I try to think, like, the more I've been doing it, I try to think in terms of I'm already on stage performing it, you know what I mean? So that, like, when I write it, it's on point to where, like, I don't have to go back and edit too much, you know what I mean? That's why I think about it. So, like, every time I write it down, like, I'm pretty confident with it, you know? And so, especially when I get on stage, I come alive. Oh, yeah, I come alive because it's all me, and I'm all up there by myself. I take up the whole stage. I fucking present myself.
So, like, what's your experience performing live before? Like, have you performed 3 or 4 times or lots and lots of times? Where have you performed in the past?
I started out, I think my first show was, like, a friend of mine, little metal band in Cayucas at a Vets Hall, and I just did, like, I wrote, like, a whole page verse and just memorized the whole page, and, like, I just was an opening act. And slowly, it was like 10 years before I even got the courage to get on stage. You know, like, okay, I'm going to tell people, you know, what's on my mind right now and, you know, speak my mind. And so that was a little nerve-wracking. And slowly, I do little shows at bars here and there. But the big kind of major boost for me was my friend Michael Handy does Love Lab Productions, and they're up in Big Sur. And so he started the Big Surreal Festivals. And that was probably my first big show, the first Big Surreal Festival. I think it was like 2013. And Zion I was there, Vocab Company from down south. Who else? A lot of random, like, local bands, probably that's, you know, you guys probably haven't heard of or whatever, but that was my major big show. It's on top of a hill in Big Sur with probably like 200-300 people.
When was this?
That was like 2013, I think.
Okay.
And so they've had like 4 big surreals since then. And the last major one was like 2016. It was in Carmel Valley, and Word Sauce played there. James K played there. And that year, because I try to switch it up. You know, I don't really have too much things pre-planned or ordained of what I'm going to do. You know, I just want to rock the mic, you know. And everybody's up there, you know, with some sort of theatrics and, you know, costumes and whatnot, trying to, you know, create a performance, you know, and look apart and this and that, create, you know, bring entertainment. And so I'm like, what can I do? I'm just by myself, you know. And so I got up there and fucking rocked it in my whitey tighties. And, like, broke the ice to everybody.
Like
literally fucking whitey tighties. Fucking go up there and just crushed it, you know, and broke the ice to everybody, because everyone's like, do I look good? Is it all right? And they're like, who's this fucker in his underwear? You know, and just killed it. Broke the ice, made everybody comfortable, and just let loose, dude. I get loud on the microphone, especially in outdoor shows, dude. I fucking let you know that I'm there.
You must be like a pretty outgoing person then.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody that's like comfortable. Like, have you always had that part of your personality where you're down to fucking be in your underwear in front of a huge group of people?
Yeah, pretty comfortable, you know, like, nobody's a stranger to me, you know. I just haven't met them yet, you know what I mean? And you know, we're all here together. We aren't going nowhere off this planet anytime soon, you know, so we might as well just get to know each other. And my grandma was very outgoing. She would always, you know, see an exit sign and charge it. Like, let's see why we're not allowed to go through there. And certain things would happen, you know, like, you'd meet people that way just by taking that chance, taking that little risk of, you know, walking through somewhere, just saying hi, being polite, you know, and then, like, you start meeting people and you start getting into different things and connections, and it's just about, you know, you ain't gonna do nothing if nobody knows you're there and you don't say nothing, you know. So it's about kind of getting your way through little by little, making connections and just being real, you know, because you're gonna get turned away if you're fucking not being real.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna know, you know.
I think it's easy to tell, like, in the underground rap world, where if you know of an artist, chances are you've met them before. You're in the same local community or use the same studio or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy for people to spot somebody when they're not like their real genuine self, you know, like especially at the underground level, like when you get to know an artist so personally, it's like, it's easy to tell when somebody's like just putting on an act or not really trying to really just be their genuine self.
Yeah. And, you know, like starting out, I did my own t-shirts and like stickers or whatever. And so my whole thing was I did this I Heart Endless t-shirts.
Okay.
And I just fucking gave them out to everybody for free, you know, and then everybody I gave a shirt to had them put it on right then and there, and I took a photo of it. And then so like it's on like the very bottom of my Instagram, you can see a bunch of people with the I Heart Endless shirts. And so that's how I was like getting my name known, you know. You got to pass shit out for free sometimes, you know. And I flooded that, you know, because to me it wasn't about money, this and that, you know. I just wanted the exposure. I was having fun with it. And so that natural just expression and sharing with everybody what I do kind of, you know, people gained to know me all over the town, you know. That's Endless, you know. Everybody knows me by Endless because I put it out there, you know. I'm like, this is who I am, this is my name, here's my t-shirt, here's my stickers, get to know me, you know. And I'm very personable. I make CDs out my trunk and I'll hand them to people, you know, like stickers, you know, like I brought today. Like I just hand shit out, you know, because that's just who I am. That's the deal, you know, because like at the end of the day, connections with real people is the real thing, and there's nothing realer than that, you know.
In terms of like doing things like that, printing off stickers, even just giving things for free, because that's like what we do at Underground a lot. Is we'll come to something like the photo shoot and just have our lighters, and we'll have magazines, and like if somebody if somebody just dedicated a part of their day to coming and helping out, like I'm more than happy to give them stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Not everyone's as nice as you who bought something, but
it's a lot of money. Yeah, it's all my own money that I put into all this stuff and gave away, you know. Like I want to make money back and this and that, but at the same time, if nobody knows who you are, you don't have a following, you're not necessarily gonna be catching clients, you know what I mean? It's like the dudes down at Venice Beach hustling their CDs for $5. Like, I don't know you, I didn't come to Venice Beach to buy your CD, bro, you know. So it's like you really gotta hustle in a way to where you invite that comfortable space for people to come in and check you out, you know. And then if they want to buy and they want to donate, then they will, because they'll be interested, because they're comfortable, because they're stoked. But if you force it on them, then a lot of people are like, psh, whatever. Then
I think I agree with the same thing. Like it's good to take a loss on some items or something like that, right? Just for the sake of promotion and just building relationships. Like I think especially like with the Undrgrnd Magazine, I want most people who like see a magazine or come across it or meet me, they think it's cool. But I think like giving them one and having them like, who knows, maybe they throw it away or whatever. But if they do put it like on their desk or it's in their room somewhere and they look at it every day, it's like every day, even if it's 1-2 seconds, they're thinking about Undrgrnd, you know?
Yeah, it's a little seed that's planted that they catch their eye every time. Like when I get copies, I'm going to have one on my coffee table. I'm going to give one to my mom, my grandma, you know, like little souvenirs here and there. And they'll share it with people. It's just easy, free promotion, you know.
It's definitely. Like, I always say, like, the Undrgrnd Magazine is, like, the coolest business card you could have type thing.
For sure.
And that's, like, same with you with the stickers. Like, those are nice quality, nice, big, square stickers that I think are really cool. And do you think you've always been somebody who has kind of had a knack for promotion like that?
Yeah. Pretty much, you know, like, I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I'm a Taurus, you know. I'm ruled by the throat, you know. So like I'm loud, I shout, I hype things up, you know. Like no matter what it is, I'll steal the show, you know. That's why I like and growing up with certain things in life, you know, like it was my therapy. Music and writing was all the shit that was inside of me. I didn't know how to, you know, come make sense of it. Had to pour it out onto something creatively, you know, transmutate the fucking bad energy into something good and constructive, you know, so I don't self-destruct myself or hurt other people, you know. So rap was my outlet for sure, to just pour all this shit that I had to say, and slowly refined it into starting little albums and kind of theme structuring it, you know, into certain things.
And so we were talking a little earlier, and so as of right now, you're 36 years old, right?
Yeah.
And you said you've dropped 13 projects.
Yeah, like they're mostly all mixtapes, things that I've been working on since 2008. Mostly myself with like GarageBand and mainstream beats, just trying to perfect my craft and my style and my voice, and yeah, so I've put together 12 like demo CDs, and the album that I just released last Christmas is probably like my 13th total, but my first original legit, like out on Spotify,
like full length album,
like, and it's legit out there with everybody. I'm in competition now, and so like even though people know me locally, if I don't branch out, in certain levels, like, so that was a start and a kind of a big move for me with all the songs that I had come up with. Is I thought all these songs were good enough to be in a legit setting to represent me well, after everything I've done or whatever.
How long had you been working on the songs for that project?
Well, some of the songs were like pre-recorded years back, maybe like 2 years back or something, and so like I'm always trying to record and write and add up content, and then I'll piece it together where I think it should go, like I'll get a few songs together, and if like, okay, this song doesn't like match in with the flow of all these other songs, and I'll toss it out. I want each album, from when you put the CD in or press play on the first song, it should flow through the end song. Shouldn't be, you don't want people to skip your fucking song,
No skips, skip project.
I gotta make it flow. And so like some songs were recorded earlier, and then some songs were written that year, 2020.
And did you do most of the like recording at Saucepot here?
Yeah, except for like the songs that were pre-recorded, like they just mastered and touched them up a little bit. But yeah, for the other, like, was it 7 songs, I recorded all here at the Saucepot.
You've been basically like making music, and you've been making music for what, 10 plus years by now, for sure,
yeah,
right?
Like 13 years.
Were you around when Saucepot first opened? Like, do you remember it opening and hearing about it, or how did you come across this place?
Oh yeah, me, Eric, Wes, and Sean from Word Sauce, we all went to recording arts class together in Cuesta, and and so I've known him since the beginning, before this place existed, before like they had the thought of it. We were all going to school to learn it first, and so it's pretty cool to see them rise professionally from school to trade, and they've made a career out of it.
What exactly is Word Sauce? Like, that's just a collective, right? It's not like I guess like a group or a band?
Yeah, it's a group band. It's like a 7-piece funk hip-hop band.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're mainstream, especially in San Luis Obispo County. They're well known.
The only person that I know from Saucepot is Wes. Is he also like a member of Word Sauce as well?
Yeah, Wes is the bass player.
He's the bass player.
Yeah, Eric is the DJ. Sean is guitar, and that was all 4 of them, right? What did I say? It was
Wes, Eric,
Sean, and was there 4?
Maybe there's 3.
I don't know, shit, probably that mint.
But in terms of Word Sauce, like, were they a group when you were going to school with them and you knew them, or is this something?
Not just yet. They were. They had a few other projects. I'm not sure when they formed Word Sauce, but it had to have been like not 10 years ago or something.
About 10 years ago?
Yeah, because their first album, I think, was what was that one called? James K was on it. It was like just a 5-track EP. The Flow, I think it was The Flow or something.
Like a little EP, probably released like 2010 era.
Yeah, I think so. But they've been killing it, dude. They got some super funky stuff.
That's dope. I want to check it out more. Like ever since I met Wes, I've only met Wes over the phone, but he's a super chill dude, and like
He's really
I feel
cool.
like it's really most of the artists that I meet out here are just like cool, down to earth people that just like maybe it's being separated from, like you said, kind of in the middle of these two big cities, the San Francisco area, LA area. But people here, I feel like, just have like a little bit more humble in their music and just appreciate the culture a little bit more, like the local community.
Yeah, I think we got time, you know. They call it slow for a reason, you know. They want you to get out of your car and check it out, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a slow pace moving environment, you know, away from the big cities. So like all the artists, we got time to kind of think and mold and chip away at our expressions, you know, and really fine tune them to how we want them. And so there's a lot of people that are breaking out of their rough spots and becoming diamonds out here and fucking killing it and really doing their thing and shining in their own way, which is all, you know, I am stoked on people doing, just doing their own thing, you know. Find who you are, find what your passion is, and fucking put it out there in the world, no matter what people today, because as soon as you put it out there, someone's gonna say something. So you might as well just be true to you and fucking do what you want to do.
Going off that, would you say that growing up in the Central Coast is actually like maybe even a benefit to trying to make it in the music industry if you don't have to compete with as many people as are in LA?
It maybe yes and no, you know, because it could be hindering from being used to a slow-paced environment and your creative process you're used to, because there's a different hunger in the cities. There's a bigger competition. Everybody's fucking working maybe harder than you are to get at the spot that you want to get at, you know what I mean? So it has its advantages, and then, you know, it cannot, because if you're not used to stepping into a fast-paced realm, people are going to eat you up. They're going to walk all over you. You're not going to, you know, get in your shot or get in that venue that you want, you know, because everyone's trying to fucking do the same thing, you know. So around here, you kind of got a little leeway and a little work room, you know, because people are down to earth. We know how to share a little bit, you know. But the fast-paced world, you know, the reality of the world is fucking people are hungry out there, you know. And you got to get in where you fit in, just like surfing. You got to catch your wave, you know. You got to get in there.
Got to catch the wave.
Got to catch the wave, dude.
In terms of your music specifically, so the last album came out December 2020. Mm-hmm. What do you have going on right now? Like, what can people expect next?
Well, I just put out a new music video from second single off the album. I just dropped that on the 1st of September. And I got enough songs for another project that I'm doing with another friends, like all different beats, different style, a step up, because I'm always progressing. I have an album planned like strictly for the ladies. I want to do like a couple songs where it's all smooth, you know, and like they can jam and, you know, sensual, you know, like relationship songs, like most of the stuff that's out there on the radio, you know what I mean? But because I call myself endless, I'm not attached to one necessarily like topic, you know, like I'll talk about anything, different genre or whatever, you know, branch myself out from a weed song, a love song, party song, you know, chill song, whatever. Try to be all well-rounded with that. But I got songs in the works, you know, like I said, I put things in order until I think they're ready and they all flow together, and then I'll drop some stuff. But I definitely not stopping anytime soon. I got some things coming in the works, you know, some more music videos for sure.
Is there like a estimated release date for like something new, like a new project at all?
No, not right now. Nothing that I can say right now. Like I have a single in mind that I want to drop soon that's pretty ready. Just need to get like some graphic design behind it. But nothing concrete to say right now.
Sweet. Well, we're looking forward to it. The magazine will be out this podcast will definitely be out within the next like 4 weeks. But the magazine will drop like November, December at the latest. Hopefully you have some stuff kind of geared up like with the magazine drop or something like that. At least some new stuff to perform at the show.
Actually, yeah. For anything, I'll have that. You know, like I'm always rehearsing and memorizing my stuff and new stuff. So, because it gets old after a while of, you know, performing the same old songs in different variations or whatever. So I'll have some new stuff by the time the release comes for sure.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, I appreciate you just even coming and fucking with Underground, bro. Like, for real, this Central Coast one is gonna be awesome. What are on, just as I have you here, like, what are your initial thoughts on this, the photo shoot day in general and the group? Have you met any of the other artists part of the magazine?
There's a few that I haven't. There's a few that I am familiar with, but I'm stoked on everybody. Like I said, I love just networking with people doing their thing. There's a lot of hidden talent out here. I'm stoked to vibe out with everybody. I'm stoked to get to know all the artists better as the weeks progress. The photo shoot was fucking on point. We got a lot of killer photos. I'm stoked on it. Super happy about it. Everything you guys present is, top notch in my opinion. So I'm very happy and grateful to be a part of it, and that you guys considered me, for sure. You guys are doing your thing, so. Like
I said, like we said to open this, when I first met you at Dairy Creek, it was all good vibes. And that's the biggest thing we try to have with underground people is, one, they're talented artists, but two, just good vibes and are down to push it as a wave and like build this new community and this issue, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I appreciate you being part of this, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, well, the Underground Podcast, appreciate you guys for watching. Go check out Endless. Where can people find you on social media?
Instagram and YouTube. I'm Endless805. You can email me at endless5885@gmail.com if you want to shout out, do a collaboration or anything. I'm mostly on Instagram, 805. Yeah.
Endless805.
All my content's on there. I get back to people. If you hit me up, I respond. I talk to people. I'm not shy. I'm not a stranger. I don't consider anybody else a stranger. So.
Hell yeah. And new music video out now. When did that drop?
September 1st. It's called Show 'Em This. The song is called Show 'Em This.
I watched it. The video's sick.
Thanks. Yeah. Filmed by the Saucepot guys.
Filmed by the
Billy G and West. Dude, they're killing it. They're stepping their game up tenfold.
Damn. Well, I appreciate you coming down, bro. I know we got some more photos to get with you.
Yeah.
But thank you for chopping up with me, bro. It's a pleasure getting to know you better.
Thank you. Definitely.
All right. Much Underground love. Podcast. Andrew Mason here with Endless. Thank you for watching. Ooh, we should all